In she goes. The best dang window hole I've ever seen! We're Brad and Jaz, and this is our 2015 long wheelbase Mercedes Sprinter. And this year we will be turning this empty cargo van into an off-grid luxury motorhome. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today is a nerve-wracking day for us because today we are installing our windows, and not just one window, not two windows, we are installing 3 windows today, and it's looking like rain. But first, back to Bunnings. Another quick trip to Bunnings, another $200 spent.
Okay, so we need to template these cuts so that we get them right, and the way we've done this is we've actually measured all the way around the edge and then measured in the actual flange, because this part is the part that's going to come through the van. If you cut the hole all the way around, your whole window is going to go all the way through, so you don't want that. So we've measured that, and then we've checked it if it's actually going to fit in here. So if we turn this over, so we've cut that pretty much to the perfect size of the window. It's going to be pretty tight, and what that means is this bit here is the cut that we need to make. So we're going to put this up where we need it, drill some pilot holes, draw around it, then go on the outside, draw around it again, and make sure that everything's going to fit and it's all level and straight, because that's a hard thing on the van. You can't really use a level, you have to measure everything because the van's obviously not on a straight flat ground. So let's put this up and see if we can get some pilot holes in there and get started. Okay, so I think it's actually going to be better to measure this from the outside, because the inside, the angles aren't all straight. There's nothing I can really line it up with. So what I'm going to do is go 11 centimeters, 11 centimeters, 11 centimeters, and then make sure my bottom lines up as well. And I think that's where we're going to put the window. That should give us enough room to play around with, and hopefully that's the right spot.
He says hopefully that's where it goes, but we're not just guessing. We have got some reference points inside, and we've used a piece of rope and wrapped it around so that we can check the height on the outside. Don't just guess.
So using the cardboard as a bit of a template, we will get a basic line, and then we'll go around it with the ruler and measure everything again just to make sure it all lines up. So we're just going to bang some holes in each of these corners on either side of these curves. So 8 holes in there. Make sure it all lines up on the inside before we go too much further. So I might do a couple little pilot holes just to make sure, and then we'll put the bigger holes in it as well. Okay, I think I just need to pop these off now. I'll use the angle grinder for that, so just cut these bits off. They don't actually hold up the van, they're not like an integral part, that's what these are for. These are just to give a bit of stability when there's not a window in it, so you can take these out, which is nice. So we'll get onto that, and we just have to be very careful that we don't go too deep and cut through the actual outer, because then we're going to have another hole where there's not supposed to be a hole.
One. Fantastic news. We did not cut through to the other side of the van.
It's not straight or anything, but it's not going to matter because this is all going to be covered up with like paneling and stuff. So as long as I've got it out of the way, that's the main thing.
I think we can officially recommend this strategy. Instead of just cutting the whole way around, we're doing it bit by bit in between those drill holes, and also taping it so that it doesn't flap around as we're going. Golly.
Oh. Alright, let's see if it fits. It's in.
No.
No shot.
First go, stop it. Clean up crew.
Yeah, we'll give this a little bit of a brush off with the metal
File?
And wait for the rain to stop so we can actually get this glued on. Okay, we're going to put some rust guard just around the edges to protect it from rusting, obviously. It stopped raining finally and we wiped off that area quite neatly. And this here is our gap to actually put the Sikaflex on and then slam the window in. So let's get into it. Do not miss this step. Rust guarding is very important for the longevity of your van. Alright, we've gone with the black Sikaflex 227 to put this up. They didn't have white in stock, and I think black was going to look okay as long as we do a very thin bead and it doesn't sort of squish out too much. Then we're going to clamp it up there and hopefully it stays. Okay, hold it. You got it? As you've only really got one window that opens, you need to find a way to clamp the whole window to the actual body of the van. So what we've done here is we've put a piece of wood on the inside, under the bottom, and on the top, and then the same on the outside. One pushing on the metal of the van and one pushing on the plastic of the window so that the adhesive will seal. Also just adding a little bit more Sikaflex to the top there because there still is a little bit of a gap. We didn't quite put enough on when we were getting it prepared, and this will just make sure that seal is nice and tight. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, we're playing Jenga again to try and keep it in. It's taken us about 6 clamps and about 15 pieces of wood, but we think we've got it right. I'll show you from the inside. So Jaz is just trying to clean this up from the inside. We've had to put these like vertically so that it would actually pull the frame into the van, because otherwise it was just clamping on the actual window and not actually doing anything. So we think that's the best solution we've come up with so far. We're going to wait for this one to seal before we start the other one to make sure it's all good.
Mate, you are just getting way too casual about cutting these big old holes in our van.
It's a little bit wonky, but I think it's going to do the job. Not quite perfect this time. I think I've got to trim off a bit more on the top.
Top corners, not quite going in. Bottom, very nice.
And again, we repeat those same steps of filing off all the metal shards and then sealing it with the rust protector. And now just adding the Sikaflex around the edge, trying to get a nice smooth bead.
In she goes. So just underneath. Yeah, I've got it.
And just securing this in with wood. I'd recommend getting some longer pieces of wood for the inside there. We actually ran out of wood, but this ended up doing the job.
Oh, that's a good one.
All right, we're gonna let that cure overnight, set nice and hard, and we'll come back tomorrow and show you the final result. Okay, back here today for the moment of truth. I'm hoping this is bonded properly and the window doesn't fall out. Let's see how we go. So it's in there.
I mean, hi there.
Now we're just gonna tidy up all around these edges here, rip off all this tape. Probably have to tidy up some of that Sikaflex up the top there because it's not 100% perfect.
We should be banned from that stuff.
But I think it's going to turn out alright. Let's rip all this tape off and have a look. Just a quick little tip here with this peeling off of the tape. Try and do it when the Sikaflex is still a little bit wet. That way you're going to get a lot cleaner line and a lot better bond. Oh, the bottom looks good.
We are a lot faster the third time around. We've got our template. We've measured and drawn it up, and by a happy little accident we're actually going to cut out some little dents, so happy for that. Alright, let's go check that out from the inside.
Should be 45, plenty of room there. 45, plenty of room there.
Engineering has approved it. Another hole's going in the van. Our favourite part about putting in this window in particular is that it's not raining today, which is really helpful and should make the process a lot faster too.
Oh, cut.
It's The best dang window hole I've ever seen! Okay, not quite a perfect fit the first time. The bottom is pretty much bang on, and we're just going to trim out these top corners. About 10 minor adjustments later, she fits beautifully, ready to give that metal a file. Gonna give it some rust guard, and then we will apply adhesive.
Jazz doing a professional finishing job on the window edges.
Wow, doing some kind of job.
So we're just going to let that one cure for 24 hours. Now you guys might realize that we've put these in back to front, but we kind of wanted the window closer to the front so that we could look out at when we're in the kitchen. So what I've had to do is I've had to actually plug the ingress holes at the top up here, but I've actually put a couple extra holes under here so that it still should drain if there is any water. So that problem's solved, and I'm pretty happy that we've kept it all pretty standardized, because otherwise we're going to have one that was back to front and one that wasn't. So we've kept it all back to front.
You can keep it nice and simple by just making sure your drainage holes are at the bottom and then your windows the right way around.
Make sure you get up all those little metal shards that come off when you cut holes in your van, because otherwise your van will start rusting. So Jazzy's got the trusty Dyson and is giving it a bit of a clean.
We started this episode saying today we're installing 3 windows, and yes, it is now day 3 of installing windows, but today all we need to do is clean them up, pop the fly screens in, and then we'll give you a look.
We are done. We've just taken the thumbnail for it. We're pretty happy with how it all turned out. Pretty happy that they're like 99% straight, which is awesome. So for 2 amateurs, I'm happy how they turned out. What do you reckon?
Amazing.
That is the windows done, which I am absolutely stoked with. That was probably one of the biggest projects we had on the list. We still have to install the gas hot water system.
Yes, we do.
Which is probably next. And then after that it'll be the flooring.
Yeah, we need to get our floor in here.
So come back next week, let us know what you thought of the windows. Obviously we did install them upside down so that we could open the window the way we wanted to for the kitchen. But it turned out quite well. We did have to fill those tops and put a couple extra drainage holes in the bottom. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So let us know what you guys think. For 2 amateurs, we're pretty happy with the job. And we will see you next time on Brad and Jaz. Bye for now.